Hey guys, welcome back to Cooking with the Frisbees. I'm Beth. Keith is behind the camera.
Hello.
Today is November 19th, and yes, it's chilly. I've got 3 layers on. It's gotten warmed up to about 45 degrees. It's 11 o'clock in the morning, and as you can see, my beds are covered.
On November 19th.
Yeah.
This has been one really
crazy
weather season. Yeah.
So 2 weeks ago, it was like 80 degrees outside, and then all of a sudden we got a bunch of freezing temps overnight for a couple of days. I was at a conference with my team, so I got home late a couple nights, and I did not cover these guys. So they
Neither did I.
They were not very happy. So yesterday I made a plan to go ahead and make sure that they were covered for overnight, because I knew it was supposed to get into the 30s. I did not realize it was going to be 28, but I'm glad I covered them. So I'm going to uncover them now and see what we have.
They did they did get a little stressed, but I think...
Well, these are brassicas, and they have, they're hardy enough to be able to take on a little bit of a frost. Oh, look.
But now that the sun's out,
yeah,
let's let them get some sun. I think the high today is supposed to be about 52. That's relatively warm.
So they're not looking terrible.
No.
They're a little droopy on the outer leaves, but I think with the sun and the temperatures today, we should be okay. Now, this is cauliflower, and oops, look, we already got worms. I'm gonna have to get into that one. So this is cauliflower and broccoli. I've got more cauliflower and broccoli over here. You'll notice the marigolds are dead. Marigolds do not take to freezing temperatures. So those guys are over for this season, but that's okay. Here's some more broccoli and cauliflower.
Oh, those snapped back quite nicely. The other morning when I looked out the window and it was 28 degrees out here, they did not look happy.
Yeah, they were very unhappy, so they had some warmth overnight.
We tucked them in, put them to bed.
Look at the Brussels sprouts.
There we go. That's a good snapback.
Yeah, I'm very happy with those. So hopefully, now let's see what happened with the lettuce. They're a little bit more tender. They're much younger. Let's see what we have. Ooh! I think they look good. They might have a little bit of frost on them. Let's see how my 2 kale plants are doing. You see the marigolds are just...
Marigolds did not like that.
Not happy. But look at my kale. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That might be a weed.
I don't think that's a weed, honestly.
What did I... This is all kale, so it doesn't look like kale. But we'll see what happens. It might not.
Some sort of volunteer.
Yep. And then our beans, or peas, sorry. The peas seem to be doing very well. They're happy. I mean, this guy here is quite the climber. We have all different ages, so my hope is that the way that I planted will have some continuous peas. We have sugar snap peas and English peas, so fingers crossed. This is a new fall planting for us. And last but not least, my single, solitary, beautiful bok choy.
How many did you plant?
This whole bed.
Well, I still believe that what happened this year, not only was the weather very disruptive, and it was tough for everybody that we spoke to about their gardening this year, but we had to get our soil, our compost soil, from a local home hardware versus where we normally get it. I just don't think it was as good as where we normally get it. It just wasn't. And I think that has, because you guys all know, soil, it makes a garden.
That it does. So very happy. Everybody seems to have made it through. I will make sure from now on that I get off my lazy butt no matter what the day or time and cover my lovely little kids.
Are you doing any fertilizing today?
I am. So I was going to bring you back up top. I'll
What
show you.
What about the rest of the garden?
Nothing's growing. It's dead.
Is it?
Yep.
There's peppers left over there, but it's all dead.
The plants themselves are dead. So if you want to come up top, I'll show you what I'm going to do for these guys today.
Pick up
You can see the remnants of the tomatoes here.
old sheets. Come in handy. We
Right?
throw nothing away.
Maybe not nothing.
Oh, I don't. Oh, look at that one little green tomato hanging on there like a Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
But this is a great example of what the freeze does to these types of plants. As you can see, there's no green left on them. I know you see a bunch of red
Look at all
cherry
those cherry
tomatoes.
tomatoes.
However, I
Not
will
edible.
say they're not. They're all split and buggy, so I'll have to trim all that back and put it all in the compost. So come on up here and I'll show you what I'm going to do for these guys. Everybody I've talked to has said brassicas need nitrogen, or you can use a fish emulsion, which I also have. But today I'm going to go ahead and use a liquid fertilizer. This one is a 335. And you just use maybe a capful and a half in each of these large watering cans, fill it up, and I'll take it down there and water them. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm not going to give this a shake because it's frozen.
Is it?
It is.
I guess it's time to bring our stuff inside. Anything water-based needs to go in the house, huh?
All right, so today we're going to be using a fish emulsion. Oh wait, before I say that,
You better make sure we have
I better
some.
make sure, no, I have some. I just better make sure it's not frozen.
Oh, you guys, this is a new plug. So while she's in there getting that, we've been having a lot of crazy weather. Our winters are getting tough where we lose power. So I bought a portable generator and had an electrician put that plug in. It's a 50 amp plug for the generator, but I'll show you what that's about later.
Okay, so this is a fish and seaweed fertilizer. This is a 2-3-1, so not quite as many nutrients in it, but it is organic, and we like that. So
Well, why didn't you bring the other one back in the house so it would thaw? I guess we could sit it in the sun.
I will. I just didn't want to take up valuable camera time. Oh, this just smells so lovely.
Gardening is not a pretty smell until you get to the herb.
I was gonna say-
fertilizing and things like that. Whew, man.
And I love playing in the dirt. Like, I love that smell of dirt. All right, and we're just gonna fill these babies up. Oops. Sorry, Bella.
It's a little cold for you to play in the water today, huh? What are you looking for under there? Is there a snake under there or something?
There's got to be something under there. Just leave it alone, Bella. Is there a ball under there, maybe?
Maybe a ball, but I don't see anything. Hang on. Yeah, there's a ball. She doesn't know how to get to that. Let me see. Where's the ball? There it is. You can't get to that, huh?
There's one right behind you,
I say
though.
you have plenty of balls. Why do you have to have that one? Because it's going to involve human interaction. That's why. You get it? There. I can't.
I'm sure folks don't want to sit here and watch me fill up these water buckets.
Why not? It's all part of the show. All right, we'll come back. I like to film Beth doing manual labor.
Oh my goodness.
My excuse is somebody's got to do the filming, so.
Right, because we couldn't possibly just set up a tripod.
Nope.
All right, so I'm just going to go ahead. I'm doing these at the base. I know some people actually water their brassicas from the top, where when you're in places that it's really, really warm, to try and help cool the plant down, but clearly it's plenty cool out here today.
Plenty cool.
Actually, by the time I walk back and forth 5 times, I might be able to take a layer off.
Well, 52, 53 is not a bad temperature. So it's just fertilizer today. We did turn the water back on, but we've cut back on the watering to 3 days a week, where in the summertime, because it gets so hot here, we do 6, 7 days a week. Unless it's a rainy summer.
I also like the different sizes that we have. My hope is that each one will mature at a different time, so that we'll have constant broccoli and cauliflower. Did you show my carrots?
I did not.
Look at how awesome they are.
How long are those gonna take?
So my research has said they will stay over winter, and that we will harvest in the spring. So that'll be interesting. See how they do over winter here. Oh my goodness, this one's heavy. Okay. Just giving each plant a little bit at their base.
A little bit of
extra
a breeze.
Nutrients. This lettuce is really cool. For lettuce, I planted just a variety. It was literally a variety pack. So they look to be pretty tender right now. We'll see how they do. So I was thinking that my basil in my little arrow grow in my office is done. So I think I might get some of those bok choy pods and do bok choy in there and see how it does.
Well, it'll get pretty big, won't it?
Well, if I get the baby bok choy, which I had the mini bok choys planted all the way down that side, and not one of them took. These guys are pretty small. They're not going to need a ton. But look, I have dill. Did you see my dill?
That's not going to last.
I used it recently for something.
Might want to pick that for tonight's dinner.
Right? I was thinking about making some crab cakes. All right, so that wasn't too bad.
How's
I did
your
Huh?
herb garden doing?
Well, it's not terrible, but it's not the happiest it's ever been either. So I had to remember I cut this back a bunch, so it's much healthier now. It's not as covered in those cobwebs. The sage is coming back as well. You can see it's doing fine. And then the oregano. Here, come down here. So what I'm going to show you is exactly what we talk about. Whenever you're growing food or anything else, they have to have the right consistency of water and sunshine. So I know it's towards the end of the season, so green onions are going to die back anyways, but because that rosemary is so large, these are just not getting enough sun. So they really I've been trying to use them, so they're starting to die off. My asparagus, let's hope next year it'll be a little healthier and happier.
That's all me.
I'm just going to keep letting it grow.
Well, we don't utilize that space. Maybe next year, well, the rosemary's resided there forever. Maybe we need to move it so that it's not blocking the sun.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I might just plant some additional. I know we said we were going to put block this off a little bit more from the runoff so that so the fertilizer stays where it's supposed to be. But yeah, so we're still chugging along, trying to keep everything alive, healthy and happy. I'm going to get some neem oil and spray on, if it's not frozen, and spray on the broccoli and cauliflower where I see it starting to get the leaves starting to be eaten. We know brassicas are the moths and the little worms that eat them are just prolific, and I mean they're really hard to keep away from. So I'm going to use some neem oil in hopes that I get ahead of it instead of being behind it. And other than that, that's about it for today, guys. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you soon.
See you next time, guys, on the next garden tour.